Garcia's Tuna on Toast.
Hello? Who's this? Upsahl.
What's up?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Oh my God.
Good to meet you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Upsahl is in the house.
What's with the clowns? I love it.
Okay, this clown was, I think, $8
Nice.
at the Pasadena Swap Meet.
I feel like it's like in tune with the whole Halloween theme right now. You know? It's good.
Now this clown is kind of an X-rated clown, as you see.
That's epic.
Again,
That's
my
so
wife,
good.
I don't know what she's doing. Like, I just, whatever she wants, I just do.
You're like,
being honest.
it's fine.
It's fine.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'm gonna have a sip of this and then we start.
First door?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, amazing. Where do you
You're gonna be there, and I'm gonna be
here.
right here. Everybody, and welcome to the show, Tuna on Toast. I am Ted Stryker. So excited for my guest today. She is a strong, powerful, creative singer, songwriter, and she's at my house sitting next to me, Upsahl.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming here. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm very stoked.
Cool. But let me just, be honest. As you were driving here, did you at all say, what the hell is this? We're going to somebody's house.
We got lost. We were like, I was like, if I lived in a house that's like this, like up the windy road, I was like, there's no way I would ever find my way home ever.
Oh my.
It was great. I'm so stoked to be here though. Seriously.
Okay. Awesome. Tom DeLonge, by the way, from Angels and Airways and Blink-182.
Yeah.
Said the exact same thing as you.
Moved.
I think he was you are not flustered at all. He was so flustered when he got here.
He's like, where do you live? Like,
yeah. He grabbed 2 Red Bulls and just downed them just
Amazing.
right away.
Got
Okay.
it.
As we sit here today, 2 days from today, or this Friday,
Yes.
Lady Jesus full-length album is out. What are you feeling right now?
It's weird. A lot of things. It's my first album. And I feel like I've kind of been like building up to this my whole life. I'm only 22, but still it's like a very big like moment for me.
It is.
It's weird. I feel like it's a mixture of me being very excited, but also terrified because I feel like it's such a like autobiographical album. So if people don't like it, I'm like, you don't like me? Like shit, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm very excited.
I think
share
one
it
of
with
the
the world.
one of the great things that you have going for yourself is, at the end of the day, authenticity rules. And if you're putting yourself out there on a record, holy crap, that's got to be so difficult.
Yeah.
So I don't know how people are going to listen and be like, I don't like that. This is
Yeah.
because it's you. You're not writing about someone you're not writing for someone else on this and their experience. It's your experiences.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I think that it's been a journey to kind of try to figure out how to find the like power in being so vulnerable in writing. So now I like love it. It's like my form of therapy. Honestly, it's like free therapy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just excited for everyone to like hear the story and like listen to the album, hopefully from like start to finish. Yeah, we'll see.
How did you get to that point to let yourself be so exposed on what's happening on the inside?
I think it was I wrote this song called Drugs like 3-4 years ago, and I was terrified of the song because I was like, this is going to make some people angry. Like I'm saying some crazy stuff. And I remember I sent it to my team and I was like, this could be for another artist. I would never put this song out. And they were like, Taylor, the song's kind of dope. Like you should put the song out. And I had to like go on this like kind of self-discovery journey of like, what's the point of music if it's not a little controversial? Like,
Wow.
What's the point of music if you're not saying what you want to say unfiltered? And so that song kind of like was my like reality check. I feel like I kind of like woke up to myself and like how I song right now.
And that's a great thing that I just heard from you say, that you had your team say, no, you should do this. Because over my whatever years in music, sometimes a team, while they mean well, will steer you in a direction that is not the true person that you are.
No, I feel so lucky. I've had my team especially my manager, since I was like 17.
Are you serious? So you're like 5 years in,
Yeah.
and at 22, you're not the same person at 17. So this person has grown with you, I guess, and it feels pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool to have people who like, have your like your best intentions or whatever. I don't know. I feel very lucky.
All right, I want to figure out from before 17 years old. Did you always want to be a musician? Did you want to be a scientist? Were there sports?
No sports. My dad was in like punk bands growing up.
Yes.
So
Is his name Mike?
Mike.
Mike, okay.
Mike Upsahl,
Yep.
a legend. We love him. But yeah, he was in punk bands all throughout my childhood. So I was just kind of like, I want to do what my dad's doing. Like, this is dope. There would be like random bands like crash out on our living room floor who were touring through Phoenix at the time. And like, I would have breakfast with these like punk rocker dudes at like 5 years old. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I like need to be a part of this. Like, I want to crash on people's living room floors. Like, this is great. And I guess there was never like a moment of like me deciding I wanted to do music. It was always just like the biggest part of who I was and the only thing I was even like remotely good at. So I just have been doing it since I could remember. Yeah.
And it sounds like you gravitated towards the lifestyle of being a musician. It's not, oh, we're going to stay at the Four Seasons on the top floor and I've got a bus with, you know, with all my friends and anything I want. Like this, the punk rock scene and punk rockers, and yes, I put Green Day in this category, but they started off like that, sleeping on people's floors, and then they're one of the biggest bands in the world. Are there any musicians that we would know of that stop by your house?
Whoa. Let's think. There was this band called Scared of Chaka that would crash on our living room floor. It's like some punk band. Flake Music, which became like the Shins. I'm trying to think of other, I don't know. Or like Jets to Brazil. It's just some random bands.
Jets to Brazil.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So it was funny because then once I turned like 10, I was like, all these dope bands are rolling through. So I like ripped the carpet out of my room and like made it just concrete, and I would like make all these bands that came through sign my floor in my bedroom. So at one point I had like all these dope bands like sign on my bedroom floor. I wish I had a picture. I need to find that. But yeah,
does your dad still live there?
Yes, it's still the same house. We have to like take the tile out and like see the concrete.
Wait, so the concrete is still sitting there?
Yeah, with the signed vans. I gotta know who's on there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And was it just you and your dad growing up in that house?
No, it was both of my parents have been like madly in love since they were like 15. It's crazy. It's like giving me the most unrealistic expectations for my love life because they're like the cutest. But yeah, they both are very musical, and then I have a younger sister and a younger brother, so I'm the oldest. But very musical household, always just like jamming, playing instruments. Yeah, it's been fun.
And this was in Phoenix, Arizona. All this was happening. And in this day and age, as you know more than anybody in this room right now, it doesn't matter where you're from these days. If you're talented, you can get your singing skills anywhere, and someone can find you no matter where they are in the world. How did it initially get going for you?
How did it get? I guess I was just always, we had a band room in the house, so I was always kind of making music. And then one day I played a song that I wrote that was probably pretty horrible at like a talent show I went to a performing arts school, and one of the teachers that I had heard it, and her husband at the time had a recording studio, and she was like, that song's like not bad. You should come record it. So me and my dad like went into the studio, and that turned into me making a bunch of albums throughout high school. And
wow. And were you going to just a normal regular high school?
It was like a performing arts school in Phoenix. So, but it was all like classically trained. So I was doing like classical piano and voice and guitar or whatever.
Wow.
But it was still like, you know, there was like the arts community that I was like a part of all the time. So yeah, I guess I was just like putting out albums in high school that now I look back and I'm like, kind of embarrassing, but it's okay. We're growing, you know?
Yeah.
Then one day I just had heard this song that I liked on the radio, and it was by this artist, Max Frost, and I decided to put a cover of it on YouTube, which I never did. And his manager saw it, and now he's my manager, and he's kind of like gotten me into the whole like industry side of it. But I guess I was just like making music.
Wow, Max Frost, he's from Austin, Texas.
Austin, yeah.
Yes, okay, I definitely know who that dude is. So you do the cover. His manager says, "Whoa, who is this person who just did that?" Reaches out to you. You sign with this guy, and did you have any hesitation on? I don't know what's going on with this, or was it? I feel good right away.
I just was ready to full send. Like, I'm pretty sure the first time my manager now called me just about being like, hey, like, I want to know who you are. I was like, great, do you want to manage me? Because I'm ready to go. Like, you just let me know when. Like, I want to do this. I think I was just ready to full send and, like, really wanted to figure out a way to be in LA and just, like, making music every day. So I was just, like, down to do whatever. Like, yeah, it was fun.
So cool. Upsahl, here's something that's at the top of my list that I give props to because I could have never done it. Someone who's somewhere between 18 and 23 moves from where they're from to LA.
Yeah.
So first of all, did your parents say, wait, hold, let's wait a little bit to do this? Or did they say, honey, go for it. See you later?
They're very different than what you would expect for most parents, honestly. Because the art school that I went to was also a college prep. So like my whole life, it was like you're supposed to go to college right after you graduate. And I remember it was like my senior year. I had already had my manager, and my parents were like they sat me down at the dinner table, and like we never had like family meetings, but they were like, we're calling a family meeting. We don't think you should go to college. Just like do music, and we just like fully support you. Like go do your thing. And I was like, that is not how parents are supposed to be, but love to see it. Thank you. And yeah, I just like moved to LA when I was 19 and have just been here since, and drive back to Phoenix all the time because I'm so close with my family. But yeah, I feel very lucky to have the parents I do to like kind of push me to like make the move.
Random question, maybe it's dumb. When you moved here, did you guys like get in a station wagon and fill it up, or did you get on Southwest with a bunch of boxes?
I drove by myself.
Okay.
I had a really crappy car. It was like a Honda Accord. Like packed my life into it. I was going to meet with publishers, and I drove through the night.
And a publisher is someone who represents you as a songwriter?
As a songwriter,
okay.
Yeah. So I was meeting with a bunch of different publishers, and I had a meeting at like 10 a.m. in LA, and I drove at like midnight from Phoenix to LA. Get to LA, this is like my first time being here, first meeting, I'm moving here, total my car within like 5 minutes of being in Los Angeles. And I was like, great. I was like stranded with all my boxes on the side of the street, like missed the meeting. And I was like, you can only go up from here. Like, this is fine. Welcome to LA. I guess this is how it goes. And yeah, that was my like introduction to my life out here, was me totaling my car. It was great.
My God. When you go to this meeting and you're meeting with a publisher, are you nervous going into that? Or is it more of they know what you are and how you write as a songwriter, and it's just like, oh, we just want to meet for 5 minutes and we're going to go from there?
I think for me, during the time, I was just excited. I was like, whether anything comes out of this, like my whole life, all I've wanted is to like get to go into the big label office and take the meetings and do the thing and have people that like believe in me in the slightest. Like, I think I was just stoked to be there, even though I totaled my car or whatever. I was just like excited to be like meeting people that liked my music in some way. So I think I just tried to just like hang on to the excitement of it. I'm sure I was like a little stressed, but yeah, it was more fun for me.
There's like doesn't matter who you are, when somebody like is giving you some sort of validation for the job that you have been doing up to that point.
Yeah,
it feels so good.
Oh, it's rad. Yeah. Especially because, you know, like, your parents are always going to be your biggest supporters. But I'm like, okay,
right.
my parents
even if it stinks,
even if
it's so
you
good.
suck. Exactly. I'm like, what if I actually suck? And my parents have been just, like, lying to me. So it was nice to have people on the outside actually believe in it, too. Yeah.
We're going through a lot of your highs right now. Over the last 2 years or 3 years, have there been some lows for you?
For sure. Yes. My first year in LA, I hated it here. I didn't really like know anyone. I just knew like I moved here with a couple of other musicians, and that was rough. I mean, I feel like LA is such a brutal place. So I wrote like my first EP about me just being a complete mess in LA, and then, you know, kept making music. Then quarantine happened, and I wrote an EP called Young Life Crisis about me also being a mess in LA, and then I went through a breakup with like the only person I had ever really like been with, like lived together. We're together since like we were kids.
And you had the high hopes because of your parents had a roadmap of
exactly. And I was like, this is my forever person.
Oh my God.
And then it ends during quarantine, and I'm like, well, half of me just like walked away. Like, who am I without this person? And so I just kind of threw myself into the studio and ended up writing my album Lady Jesus about it. And now I feel like I'm the best I've ever been. I'm sure another crisis will happen soon, and I'll have another album about it. But for now, I feel like making this album has been like so therapeutic, and I feel like I'm finally like good, which is dope.
IDFW feelings.
Yes.
Holy macaroni. Okay. I can never be in your shoes, but that one I feel a lot of the songs, that one I really do. Where along in making this album did you write that? Was that something early on or towards the end?
Yeah, the way the album is sequenced is written, or is in the order that I kind of wrote the song.
So it goes with douchebag.
Yes.
It starts with that 100% not a chance that I'm wrong.
Yes.
You are a D-bag. I know you're not going to pull one over on me, mister.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It starts with me being very angry at the world with douchebag. And then ends with Lady Jesus, which is me not being angry at the world anymore. It's great. But yeah, IDFW Feelings is about, yeah, I guess I wrote that like halfway through making the album when I just decided that if I didn't have feelings in the first place, nobody could hurt my feelings.
Right. Oh,
And that
yeah.
was kind of my motto for a minute.
That's such a good note. Great information. It goes in sequence, these songs. So when you listen to the album, Lady Jesus, know that this is a story from beginning to the end. And I like the segue from Last Supper into the title track.
Cool. Thanks.
Yes. Yeah, you're welcome. Tell me about Last Supper before Lady Jesus, please.
Yeah, Last Supper, I feel like this past year has been like the worst year of my life, but also the best year of my life. Like I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. But the one thing that's been so consistent is my friends. Like, so I was like, I have to have a song about how dope my friends have been to me this past year. And I wanted it to be, you know, on theme with the Lady Jesus thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's the Last Supper. It's a small crew of people, but we're vibing. So yeah, it's basically just that song's for my friends. Yeah.
I love that song, and I love again how it segues right into Lady Jesus, the title track. And I'm sorry if this is a dumb question. I know every person speaking to you is going to ask. So Lady Jesus means what to you?
Yes.
Okay, is that all right if I ask that?
Epic. No, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Lady Jesus for me, I guess is when I started the album, I thought I was going to write a breakup album. I was like, I'm going to write the saddest breakup album of all time. It's going to be great. And then as I, you know, like started healing and getting over it, it became an album about like rebirth and like me feeling like a completely different person and like falling in love with myself and learning who I was. And so I felt like, I remember one day I was in a writing camp in Nashville with my friends who I made most of the album with, and it like hit me all of a sudden. I was like, I think I'm okay. Like, I don't think I'm sad anymore. This is weird. Like, I feel like I've been like reborn or whatever. So that day we wrote the song Lady Jesus. And then that day I was like, this makes so much sense. Like, this is the album. Like, this is what we're calling it. But I also think like, I'm sure I'm going to piss off some like religious people with the title, but like growing up like I've been to church, I know how it goes, but like, I think Lady Jesus and the reason we went with the title is because like, I feel like in any religion, people always put so much like trust and like power in this other being to like save them. And Lady Jesus is kind of about like finding that like trust and power like within yourself, and like you can save yourself, which is so cheesy, but that's how I feel like it's been the past year. Yeah.
You are good. You are creative and strong, as I said at the top. It's all coming to fruition for me.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's a song called Thriving.
Yes.
And this is kind of in the middle of the album. Tell me about Thriving, please.
Yes. Thriving is, yeah, it's right in the middle. For me, it's like the turning point of the album of like sad girl to baddie.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess I feel like the past, year and a half or whatever, when everything has been just like going awful and like seems like more things just keep going wrong, I just kept saying to myself, like, it's fine, I'm thriving, like really sarcastically. It was like my quote. I would say it all the time. And so I was in a session and I was like, why haven't we made this into a song yet? Like I say it 20 times a day. So yeah, we just made a very sarcastic song about pretending you're thriving even though you're actually doing horrible, and just kind of owning being a mess. And like, it really is about like faking it till you make it. And I feel like once I started just telling myself I was thriving, even though I wasn't, I feel like I started to believe it. And that kind of led me to Lady Jesus and like where I'm at now at the end of the album. So I guess it works. If you want to tell yourself you're thriving on your worst days, it's very helpful.
I love that. Do you tweak the song so you write or go into your phone, or is it two of you or by yourself just thinking of ideas? How do they come to fruition for you?
Yeah, most of it is just me. I feel very lucky because making this album, I finally have like a crew of like producers and writers who I love and respect, and we all just kind of get each other and like got to make this all like together. So it's like just as much their project as it is mine. It's been really, really fun. But yeah, most of the songs have been me just kind of walking into the studio, complaining about my life or however I was feeling that day, and then sparks a conversation between all of us, and we just kind of talk in circles about it until someone says something that we're like, wait, that could be a song title. Like, that's cool. And someone picks up a bass and then makes a track. It all just kind of happens organically. But I think most of the songs on the album are a result of me just like pretending I was in therapy. Like, I feel so bad for all these writers. I would go in and just be like, you'll never guess what happened today. And like, they're like, tell us, like, what? We need a song. So yeah, it's been a very like autobiographical thing for sure.
And what's really cool, I think, if you just take out your lyrics and just listen to the music, I mean, there's like 2 or 3 ways you can go when you're hearing these just the musical part. Oh, this makes me feel great. But then you're singing about something that is so personal. I'm like, oh my God. And that combination in a song, I think like those to me are the best songs. When the music can make you feel so much like this, but then the lyrics
Like you're like, wait, I'm sad.
Exactly.
Yeah, word. Thank you.
Yeah. What about doing live performances? Where are you on that? Have you been rehearsing? Are you going? You're going on the road here pretty soon in November.
Like a month, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Very excited.
Good.
I did not realize how much I missed tour until I played my first show back like a couple of weeks ago, and like was so like the most serotonin I felt in forever. Like, I'm sure like just even going to shows, like I've missed that so much.
Yeah.
So getting to play shows again is like the best thing. I have like a live album, live stream performance that I'm doing on release night that we've just been in rehearsals for like all day, every day. So that's been really fun. Honestly, just getting to jam again with my band and like hear live music in a room is like the best feeling ever.
How many people on stage with you?
It's me, my drummer Ross, and my guitar player Johnny. It's just the 3 of us. It's very fun. It's a good time.
Other than everybody you've worked with, my question for you is: you have one song to make only right now. Who comes in as a producer, and who comes in as a collaborator on the microphone with you? Once, it can't be anyone you worked with before, so there's no
people.
Or just one if you want.
People I've never worked with before.
Yes, never worked with
before. I was
before.
like, I'm gonna piss people I work with off if I have to decide.
You can't. They do not count right now.
They
matter in life, but not in this 20 seconds.
Exactly. My like dream collab is Doja Cat. I'm obsessed with her. That would be sick.
Doja Cat.
Producer. I've wanted to work with Phineas forever. I feel like that would be so fun. I mean, obviously he's like a genius.
Yes,
so
he is.
That would be crazy. Phineas and Doja. That'd be great.
All right.
Yeah.
Who were some since we're just getting to know each other, musical influences growing up, or just artists that you looked up to, either the way they created their music or the way they carried themselves as a professional?
I mean, my dad obviously had a really big influence on me, but the music I grew up listening to, a lot of like No Doubt and Gwen Stefani.
Yes.
I was obsessed with Gwen. Like, she's just the most badass. Like, having a woman like her leading a band of dudes and like saying whatever she wanted, wearing whatever she wanted, act like the way she acts on stage is
doing
so
those push-ups
rad.
on stage.
Yeah, like she's just epic. She's like such a powerhouse. So growing up and watching her, I was like, I want to be like her. She's so cool.
And you are. There's going to be people coming to your show. There's going to be, and they're going to be like, oh my God, look how great this person is on stage right now, writing these songs, taking her career into her own hands and doing something really good.
We're trying. We're just trying to be like Gwen. We're all trying to be like Gwen,
Yes.
you know.
I just want to look that good in a tracksuit one day.
Right? I'm like, how do you? Oh, she's so rad. But yeah, a lot of like No Doubt and Gwen, and like I loved Weezer growing up. But then I also really loved like Outkast. Like I just feel like I listened to a lot of stuff. But No Doubt was kind of like my big one. Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, that's it. We're going to wrap it right there.
Love it.
Wow. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was
Of course.
so fun.
Can't wait to see you play on the road. And of course, we will continue to listen to Lady Jesus. When you guys are watching this, it's already out. And when you start to think about great artists from Arizona, you got Meat Puppets, Jimmy Eat World, Gin Blossoms, and Upsahl. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Now hit that subscribe button. And for more Tuna on Toast, listen wherever you get your podcasts.